Welcome to In Progress, a podcast to help you grow and learn how to become a better version of yourself. Now, here's your host, Michael Cirigliano.
Welcome to In Progress. I'm your host, Michael Cirigliano, here with Realtor extraordinaire, Manny Strickland. How you doing today, Manny?
Doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. So you mentioned your mental health and all of that stuff. And then you also mentioned that you are introverted.
Yeah.
So how does the mental health, like, how do you manage your mental health in an industry where you need to be, from my outside looking in perspective, probably the most charismatic person that people talk to? You have to be that fun, like, I like this guy.
Like, and it's really funny because I think somehow over the years I fostered that personality. Like, and I don't know how. Everyone says all the time, like, I didn't realize you were so introverted because every time I see you, you're loud. 100%. Or everybody knows you're having a million conversations at once. You're jumping around talking to groups of people instead of hiding in the corner. Yeah. There are days where I still hide in that corner, and there's plenty of times where I have to recharge because you got to think for a couple hours out of my day, some days you are on. Yeah. You have to have, like, I think back in the day we used to call, like, the show. Like, it was just a mask. Like, when it's time for me to go, it's showtime. You go in, you get what you need to do, and you do what you need to do. You know, and then you turn it on, you pour on, and give out as much as you can. But when I turn that off, like, that's when you sit in the car and, like, cry for a little bit or do, like, a little scream when you're driving back home and shit like that. So that way you can get it out. 100%. But, like, I've learned to balance that out in a certain way because in getting out of AT&T and getting into real estate, my mental health is way better. Really? Because you don't have somebody knocking you down all the time or telling you you're not good enough. True. Or missing out on stupid things that you shouldn't have. I don't miss out on holidays no more. I don't miss out on birthdays no more. If I want to do something, I can do it. If it's 90 degrees outside, I'm not sitting in the store like, wow, this sucks. I have literally sat here, looked at my admin, like, yeah, I'm in the streets today. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, don't call me, don't text me, I'm gone. And I go, like, we have a boat day, or we just go out in the Ave and, like, chill out and hang out, and I'm able to take that time to decompress. So that way when I do need to turn it on again, I can. Like, I'm not constantly down and then getting home late, barely eating, just to sleep and do it all over again. It's a giant rat race. There's a reason why it is called the rat race, like, because it sucks. It does. So once you get out of that and, like, you have people tell you, like, it's all on you now. Like, I'm like, oh, you're right. Like, this is kind of something that I can do, and I work through that, and you keep moving, and like, oh, all right, this is awesome. My mental health has legitimately never been better I'm 33, been struggling since I was 17, 18 years old. So after all those dips and highs, I'm now consistent straight through where I can at least do that and show. It's just the introverted thing does suck though, because after a while, you're gotta find a way to, like, all right, I have to go out and meet this couple that I've never met before. We're about to look at 5 houses, and I have to figure this out. Because I might not see them again after these 5 houses if they don't like me. Right. They can just call up the next realtor if they didn't sign on or, you know, get an ADC agreement with me or anything like that. So I have to show up and then literally be myself as much as I can, even though I'm the most manic, ridiculous person in the world. If you had a regular conversation with me outside of a sit-down setting, and I'm out of my mind. 100%. You'll never see anyone crazier than me. But you got to learn how to control that and put it into your work. Yeah. So that allows me to take that, which would normally be crazy, and turn it into high energy, or constantly joking, or one-liners and stuff like that. Yeah. That's how I dealt with my mental illness for so long, was like dark humor and suicide jokes. So I mean, if I can sit there and turn that into, like, not suicide jokes, it works out way better than the day. You know what I'm saying? You can't just
hit an old couple with a suicide joke.
Listen, I used to sit at work and people were like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, looking for a steady beam to hang myself. You know, nothing too crazy out here. Literally, I was though, so it wasn't really a joke at a certain point. So I had to get a bot.
So I actually am.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I actually am. But but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to take, like, all right, I'm a funny dude. So use that to your advantage. Like, it's not a hard thing to just talk to somebody. It's a conversation. Like, you sell yourself over time. Yeah, absolutely. Like, going to loop back, like, if the job is to sell myself, if you can't naturally sell yourself, you're working too hard. Yeah. So why are you doing this?
100%. Did you find, because that's something that I mean, like you said, when I met you, bro, the entire time that I've ever known Manny, I thought you were, like, the most outgoing, extroverted, party hard, like, Nothing wrong. Like, there's no dark side to you type
Absolute
shit.
menace.
And it was crazy because when we had that conversation, was like last week, 2 weeks ago.
Nah, I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago, something like that.
And you told me like, nah, I'm introverted. I'm like, where? And it was crazy. So like, how did you do that? Like, did you just like, was it a thing where you're like, I am who I am, take it or leave it? Or did you learn how to just like put the show on hardcore and maintain?
I think I was always kind of like, since I was shy, like growing up and everything else, I just didn't really like talk or show my personality to people.
Yeah.
I was a bookworm. I did intramural sports, but like nothing too crazy or nothing like that. And I kept to myself a lot outside of like my core group of friends. Mm-hmm. So if you weren't in that core group of friends, you didn't know how funny I was.
Yeah.
So going through high school, like early college and everything else, with sales, I was doing like bar and club promotions on East Alexander, Monroe, Park Ave, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I started going out more, talking to more people, seeing people get into all those different circles. And I'm like, and everyone's like, oh, you're all so funny. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, this is far from funny, I guess. Yeah. The older I got, I was like, I guess there really is something there. Like, at the end of the day, like, I can talk to people pretty easily. Mm-hmm. And the more I thought about it, I always could. I just never realized it. In my head, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, why am I doing this? But you do it so naturally after a while. And I actually, when I worked at T-Mobile, I worked with somebody I'm still friends with now, bless his soul, Chris McDonald, who kind of like taught me just how to use all that to my advantage. Like, just to put it out there, be myself, and just talk and fuck with people. Yeah. It's part of why I talk with my hands now. You would think I'm Italian, and I'm not, and it's so annoying. I
noticed that.
You know, but
you're one of us.
Just sitting and talking with him got me to just be out there a little more. Mm-hmm. And it'll make it worse because then he would sit there like, all right, Strickland, you got it. I'm off the links. Clock me out at 6. And just leave me at the kiosk by myself. Mm-hmm. So now I got numbers to hit. How am I going to do this? I gotta sell. You got to get out there. You got to. And that's kind of like I noticed. I didn't hear it be called the show until probably my AT&T days. But I realized that's all it is. Yeah. You're putting on a mask of yourself to just get there. It's weird because I make this whole thing of like not being fake. Yeah. And it's more so having that energy to put forth everything you have to be introverted or extroverted because you know you have it. Mm-hmm. I know I can have a conversation and talk to anybody or like get someone's attention and do whatever. That's cool. But to find the energy to do that is a lot. Yeah. So the more I worked through those things, the more you kind of developed it and it became a daily thing for me. So now if I'm out in public, because I have so many friends and people that I talk to on a daily basis, I said, a lot of my friends and family members are literally bartenders out here now. Yeah. So I'm used to popping back and forth and meeting new friend groups and doing things that I never would have done before. Mm-hmm. I'm out playing darts, I suck at pool, I'm out shooting pool, stuff like that. You know, and you start to have a lot of conversations with people when you're with them till like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I learned like, all right, man, this is like a thing. Like I can actually kind of be out here. And I call myself introverted, but I guess at the end of the day, there is a lot of me that's extroverted. You know, it's like I classify myself as introverted because to me, that's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. After I'm talking to people all day, I just want to sit in the house some days. Yeah. Lights off, put on a movie, or like sit there, chill, and just woosah myself. Because if not, if I don't have that night to recharge or chill, like I'm gonna burn myself out. Absolutely. Did it at AT&T, so I recognize it coming a mile away. Like, yo, I can't do this. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm cool. Yeah. You coming out tonight? You doing this? Nah, I'm in the house, man. Like I'm not. Yeah. I need to take a day to myself and like get back out there and like chill. And even on the days where I'm not feeling it, if I'm in the office, my headphones are in, or I'm upstairs somewhere like away from everybody so I can work. You know, just because as much as I love people, I can't always be around people. Like, it just does too much.
No, I definitely feel that. I mean, with myself too. Me in high school, middle school, same as you, even early 20s, I was extremely introverted, and the sales kind of made me, like you said, you had to put on a show. Yeah. So me being the kid that like in school would be like, I'd have my core group of friends, which was like 4 people. If we're lucky. Yeah, exactly. And I'd only talk to them if anyone else came in. I would just like shut down, shy away. And to be able to now, just through sales, through like realizing that like people's judgment of you either doesn't exist or doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's like to care about other people at a certain point is for what?
Yeah, exactly. For you need to be you genuinely, and like you said, you're not for everybody. Yeah. So you have to realize that and be like, well, the people that I'm for are going to get me. The people that I'm not for
and they're normally still in your life at a certain point. Like anybody that didn't work out, they ain't there for a reason, you know?
Exactly.
And when you can pull yourself out to do that and get out of your core group of friends, I think that's the biggest part, because you're so used to being around certain people, and yeah, they know how you act. But same thing you said, I can be a wild person. So if I'm out and about, I try to contain that sometimes.
Really?
Because I know I'm off the wall bonkers some days. You've seen me literally bounce up and down, in and out of bars, back and forth, trying to do a million things. You can't always do that. Like there are some people. Yeah, until someone looks at you like, what is wrong with you? Like you are out of your mind. I'm like, I'm on 4 pills a day. Like you expect me to just be like a normal human being? There's a reason why I'm on these you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of build off of that, and after a while, it just becomes more natural. It's less of a show now than it was, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Just because I'm in a better headspace normally, and I'm lucky enough to have a core group of friends, family, and honestly, coworkers around me that I can talk to and get advice from, and be told if I'm being an idiot or not. I don't have people that hype me up anymore and tell me the wrong things, try to get me in situations that I shouldn't be in the first place.
Yeah, they're looking out for you.
Exactly. As long as you have those people around you and you can keep your head on, like all that stuff works itself out. So 100%. I'm glad to be where I'm at right now, by far.
Yeah, that's honestly huge. And I was, because I still, even to this day, like work on myself trying to socialize more. Because I'm still I'm still at the point where like I can't always just be on when I'm out. Like when you're out, I feel like you're on. Like you're on. Like you're what I'm trying to get to, believe it or not. Like I don't know how you think of yourself, but like with me, if I'm out at a bar or I'm out socializing, like I wasn't the type to be like, I don't know you, but I'm gonna get to know you. Or like, I'm here, I'm gonna talk to like these 8 people, and then whatever happens after that. Like I was the type of like, I come here with one person, and I'm with that one person, and then if something else happens, like cool, I'll talk to you, but like if it happens, I'm not gonna make it happen, but if it happens. And I was watching a video where this guy actually said that being that way, being introverted, is okay, but it's not gonna get you anywhere. And you essentially have to play a character until a character of yourself. Like someone playing, like Tom Cruise, like for example, like Sylvester Stallone playing Rocky. He wouldn't play Rocky the same way Arnold Schwarzenegger would play Rocky. The same way Tom Cruise would play Rocky. So you gotta find a way to be that extroverted, charismatic person with your own flavor to it, and then you gotta do it so much to where it is you. And that's what I'm working on now. So like last time we went out, you saw me, I came there by myself, and I was like, I'm just chop it up with people. I met like fucking 3, 4 new people. Yeah. And that's the type of shit that like, I see you just doing, and I'm like, bro. And then you told me you're introvert, I'm like, oh, so he's where I'm gonna be.
But that's some years of doing the same thing though. Yeah, I've lived down here for 7 years now. So
you've been down here?
Yeah. Oh. So you got to think. So from the days where I was out every night, so that you get to meet people or know people, and it starts out. Most of the people I'm friends with or go out with now are people that I just knew was a regular, or someone that was also at the bar at the same time that I was out.
Okay, got you.
And I wouldn't even talk to some of those people. Like they're just there. Like any of the people you have in your life, like they're just chilling. And next thing you know, you might get their name or hear somebody else say their name, and like, oh, now you're trying to put that person to a face. Yeah. They might know somebody so now they're slapping you up or dapping you up, and you're like, oh, okay, man, this person's not too bad. Still not talking to them. That. And it's normally something stupid like sports. Yeah. That'll bring people together, like almost any time, whether it's an argument or not. And you start to see people. If I see the same person 4 nights a week, how often can you just not talk to that person? You know what I'm saying? Or that
at some point you gotta.
Yeah, like you at some point are gonna end up having conversation with people.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're out with someone that, I will say, like I guess in my case, like because you're out for my birthday, if I'm out with 20 people and you're there by yourself, you're now also with 20 other people with me. And if you're there, they already know they're rocking with you. Yeah. So it's just getting out and talking and showing up at different places. Yeah. Like I know, and I laugh because you're right. If I ever see your homeboy out, I know you're coming out. Yeah. The ones like the one dude, every time I see him out, I'm like, oh, Mike's around here somewhere. Or he'll be here in 15, 20 minutes. This dude's never that far ahead of him.
Exactly, yeah.
And I laugh, and I'm like, oh, funny to see you here. What do you know? Like, what a surprise. And it's the same thing with me. People know where to find me, like, on any day of the week. If they really wanted to, you could probably find me a Dragonfly, or like, even now, like, Magpie, Dead Red Pecker down the street. Yeah. They just open up. Shout out to them. And, you'll find me if you really want to. You don't even gotta call me. You don't need a location. You can just walk up and down Park Avenue, and within an hour you're gonna
see you.
You gonna see me or know I was around? I left the street. Somebody's gonna see that I was around.
A wreck behind you.
Somebody probably crying on the floor, dying of laughter more than anything. Get him the fuck out of here. Why are you like this?
Dude, that's amazing, and that's like, that to me is like, I see that and I'm like, that's insane to be able to make that shift. And like you talking about like my boy's out with me all the time, like that's what I'm trying to actually like shift away from. Because like you said, if he's there, I'm there. I'm trying to get to a point where it's like, I'm there and no one else is there type shit. And that's the hardest thing, because then when you go out by yourself, it's like you need to socialize, and like you're at a point where like you don't go nowhere and no one knows you. You go somewhere, someone knows you.
Yeah, for the most part.
Everywhere you go.
But that's especially like the same thing. So the best way to get there, talk to your bartender. Talk to your person in the restaurant in front of you, because the more you talk to those people, you're gonna know the people they work with.
Yep.
They're gonna know you. And then all the people that are around are their friends, and that's how it slowly, next thing you know, you're friends with a group of people like on a boat party for no reason. Like those things kind of just happen naturally over time. So now when I do go somewhere, by myself, I have the people like, oh, you're not with so-and-so? Because that happened for a long time. Like, oh, you're not with, they're not with you, or who are you with? I'm by myself, bro. I'm here to watch the game, or I came to see you. I actually came to chop it up for a little bit. Haven't seen you in a while. Figure I'd spend some money with you, hang out, and just go home. Like,
Absolutely.
Simple. But those relationships and getting to that point didn't happen overnight, like by far. Like some of these things took 7, 8 months, a year, 2 years, to when people see you as, a regular or just a face, you got to put a name to that face and like a personality, like, oh, they're not just the drunk schmuck that sits at the bar playing the same, was bad for this. Like, I think it was one point I got in trouble. I want to say it was my birthday, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I played God's Plan on the jukebox 10 times in a row. Do you know how annoying that is? To have the same kid half drunk on the bar singing Drake, yelling the same song over and over and over and over and over and over. Bro, I'm pretty sure they wanted to shoot me.
Turn the jukebox off. You're done.
You can't.
Cut off.
Skip, God's Plan played again. Skip, you thought. God's Plan is on again. What are we
Just
talking?
give up at one point. They're just like, fuck it.
I literally have watched the skip happen. Skip. I'm like, funny, I put $100 on my touch tune. I was like, you're not getting past this. Like, we're out here now.
I need to listen to this.
And people know and remember me from dumb stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those things just carry with you over time, I guess. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I wish I could take some of the nights I blacked out and just like remember them. But other than that, I mean, it's been a blessing to have the friendships that I have now.
100%. And you think, tying it back into real estate, went off on a little tangent.
That happens.
Yeah,
I told you I'm on 4 pills a day. I don't know if you want it.
No, but that's good. So like with how you've been down here the past 7 years, like, do you attest your success in real estate to the relationships you've cultivated down here?
Yeah, 100%. Just because a lot of them, like, I get a lot of referrals from my friends or people I see at bars that are regulars, like, oh, I heard you're into real estate. Like, if you see me at any given time, if I have a stack of business cards in my pocket, I throw them like ninja stars at people. I do not care. I buy slightly cheaper business cards instead of like thicker ones. Yeah. So I can just throw them places. Every time I go to a showing, I leave a business card of mine somewhere. If I'm at a bar, there's a business card of mine somewhere on the wall, hidden in a nook. If you go to Dragonfly, the skull with the antlers on top of the bar has my business card right front and center.
Oh, really?
That ass right on the forehead, looking out the bar. Simple, Smart. Or someone will be like, I saw you around here somewhere. I'm like, yeah, it's probably that great business card that's on the bar at the corner that you just walked past, but okay. And it's cool, but I've had people reach out to me because they're like, hey, I know you're into real estate. Same thing, if I got my computer with me at the bar center, when the weather's nice, I work from all the businesses on Park Ave. I'd rather be outside than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm able to run numbers from people and do little mini consults and see if they want to sell or what you think about buying. And those conversations are a lot more natural when you're just talking to some kid in a Hawaiian shirt.
Absolutely.
It
makes it more personal. Yeah. Like guard down type shit.
And they know people that know me. Are like, hey, I talked to so-and-so. They told me you're in real estate. What's going on with the market right now? Like, how's this? What's going on? All right, cool. Yeah, let's take a couple minutes, chop it up. Yeah. See where it fits. Exactly. And I've had success with that. I've had a couple of different referrals and sales, some things that have worked there, found a couple buyers. So that's helped. I get more sales off of that than I do leads, but it's more so because I focus more on my side of the business than the cold calling side of the business, and that's a personal preference.
Yeah, it works for you.
Yeah. at times, you know, I still want to take leads when I can to help supplement that. But to be able to have my business with my friends and the people I know just makes my life easier, because there are things like this where you can actually talk to somebody, they know you, they trust you,
Yeah.
and you can rock out.
Absolutely. So somebody that's thinking about getting into real estate, what advice would you give them to like jump in? Like maybe they're hesitant about going into it. Like what advice would you give somebody that's thinking about doing it?
I'd always say start by going to a seminar if you can. Like a lot of brokers, I know we have one here where we normally do like, if you want to be a new agent, like every month or every 2 months, it seems like we're doing little onboarding things. You can come, sit down, learn from people in the office, see what we can do for you, and vice versa, and what it takes, how much your course is, where should you go, what's going to come from this, and like what steps can you take, even if you're not ready right now, to be ready 6 months from now, a year, 2 years, and what you really want to do. Once you can talk to somebody and figure it out, that's on you to figure out if you want to put down that time. The course isn't always cheap. You know, your GRAR fees definitely ain't cheap. You got to pay those every year. So you have to be willing to put in that work. You have to be prepared money-wise ahead of time if you can. We were talking about it earlier. Say we can do a transaction. Cool, it's wonderful. Now it's going to take 45 to 60 days to close, and you might get paid 30 days after that. So you're 90 days off from a check from the moment that your offer gets accepted, and that's on a perfect world.
Yeah.
If you're not ready for that, you can catch yourself in a spot. So just be prepared mentally. Know you're not going to make everything immediately.
Right.
You're going to have to grind and hustle and work hard and have some money saved up just to keep yourself sane.
Right.
So if not, you're going to be hurting. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But talking to people and getting to that information will help figure out like what brokerage works best for you. Who am I going to work best under? What mentorship do I need? Do I need somebody on my back 24/7? Or is it better off for me to have somebody that I can reach out to in need and get an answer?
Yeah.
Like those are all things you have to take into account, not only where you're going, but what you need as a person.
No, that makes total sense. And then what would you say, like what's the one point of today's, like the conversation we had today, the one thing that you really want to like hammer home for people watching, like the main thing that you really want to put out there for people?
I would say if there was one thing I could do to take away from this is the fact that you have to put in the work to be successful, and if that's what you want to do, real estate can definitely be there for you. I won't tell you the market's crazy, the market sucks, whatever, that's on you. The market only sucks if you can't get shit done.
Right. Absolutely.
So if you can work hard for your clients and you can go to bat for people and you can negotiate and make things happen, you're putting in that work. If you don't want to get out of bed in the morning and you don't want to do that, that's on you, no matter what you have. But you're working for your freedom. Do you want to be stuck in the box? Do you want to deal with the rat race? Do you want to look outside and see your friends gallivanting around in the streets when you're stuck somewhere dealing with somebody yelling behind your ear? I'm good on that. If I want to take a 2-hour lunch, I want to take my 2-hour lunch.
Absolutely.
If I want to go to the beach and work from the beach, I want to work from the beach. Like I don't want to. Real estate has allowed me to find myself more as a person and to really focus on what I love to do and what matters most to me and my values. If it wasn't for this, I don't even want to know what type of hole I'd be in if I was still working in my old jobs, you know? So, and bringing it back, I would say putting in the work to better yourself will show you everything you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can actually, if you put in the work and try to manifest all the good things and whatever, you can say it's bullshit, whatever you want, but like speaking those things into an existence and actually allowing yourself to be better and making incremental changes in your life and then seeing like, oh man, this is cool. I just got a $10,000 check. You can't tell me shit. You know what I'm saying? Like what am I gonna, who wouldn't want that, you know? And it doesn't happen every time. Right. But when it happens, you can go, let's go. You know, like it was worth it.
Feel good.
You know, I've never once said like, why did I ever get into real estate? Over the past 2 years, even with the pandemic and everything, I'm like, this is fucking perfect. This is awesome. Really? Like, how could you not want to work for yourself? And I think the pandemic shifted that for a lot of people because between the work from home, getting let go, or realizing like, I could really do this on my own and make something of myself, or I can continue to work for somebody else, be a number, and put one foot in the other every day. Yeah, which is the worst. Why would you want to do that when you can fucking go in your car and do wheelies in the park? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, exactly. I'm good. I'm done with the one foot in front of the other. I will never have a boss ever again in my life, no matter how bad it gets. 100%. So for people watching this, where can they find you?
Because majority of people watching this are from Rochester. So where can they find you?
You can find me at 389 Park Avenue at Norchar Real Estate. I do have an online landing page. I'll make sure you get all that information and stuff like that so you can post it. But I am normally here Monday through Friday in office at least 9 to 2 every day if I can help it. And if not, you can still probably find me on Park Ave at some point during the day. You know, if you go to a couple of nice little establishments that, you know, frequent back and forth.
You'll find them.
You'll probably find me somewhere around here. But I'm always available to people. Like, at the end of the day, I am very rambunctious sometimes. But, I mean, I fight for my clients every day. If you ever work with me in a work setting or from a client setting, you know what I can do for people and how hard I work for the people that I have, whether I know you or not. So I would just rather do that for everybody if I can, you know, at least make a difference that way.
100%. I love it. So I want to thank you guys for watching today. All of his info, all of his online info is going to be in the description below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the video. Any questions you have about this, make sure to comment, DM me, DM Manny, and thank you for watching.